Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, known as the Dream Decipherer, and this is Dream Your Life, Live Your Dream Live, where we talk about all things dreams. So today we're looking at dreams from a slightly different point of view, how they may point to archetypes. And we'll look at archetypes and leadership in terms of what appears in our dreams. So I guess the best place to start really would be to define briefly what an archetype actually is. I mean, people throw the term around, but they may not actually be sure what it is. So to briefly define, archetypes are a symbol of something that represent universal meanings across diverse cultures. Some examples of that: jokes about sex, death, and mothers-in-law, common to every single culture on the planet, because it's a common experience to us all. So that there's common archetypes such as the wise old man, whether it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, or I think it's Dumbledore, or the neighbor in the Karate Kid. I mean, so archetypes are around us all the time. The eternal youth, the beauty queens. I mean, it's like kind of like think of it as verbal shorthand for an idea that people have about something or other. So we can play the hero like Luke Skywalker or Harry Potter. We may be an outlaw like the High Plains Drifter in Clint Eastwood movies. We could be the sage, whoever that might be, and who represents a wise person. So we can play those roles in our dreams, or we can see other people or even animals represent certain qualities to us. So we're going to be looking at archetypes from the point of view of, from a Jungian point of view, because it's more expansive. It's not narrowly defined in terms of sex and shame. Now, we're going to look at these different archetypes and what they could possibly be saying to the dreamer when they appear in our dreams or in their dreams. So understanding these archetypes and what they could possibly mean, and again, meaning is all about context and the individual's life experience. So it's one archetype is not going to mean exactly the same for every person, even though it's a common archetype. It'll have nuances that are different. But these symbols can give us a maybe greater insight into ourselves and actually provide some guidance with regard to self growth and insight and transformation even. So as well as how we lead others and that we come in contact with in our lives. Now, in business, dreams have actually played a very pivotal role. Starting with Google, yes, Google, Einstein's E equals MC squared, the double helix of DNA, the novel Frankenstein, hit music, hit songs, all kinds of things have been created because of dreams. So as an entrepreneur, I would ask you, what could you possibly be missing out on, the next great idea for your company, by not listening to your dreams? Something to think about. So what kind of leader are you, or do you believe yourself to be? What is your dreams having to say about that? We'll take a look at a few categories of archetypes in terms of business and see how certain kinds of dreams may be a clue as to the best way forward for you to be a leader. You never know. So our first category is that of investigators. Now, these are they're the bean counters. They evaluate and analyze and speak very well to investigating and identifying customer pain points. They are also good at risk assessment. So if you think of people like perhaps Bill Gates or Jordi Munoz of 3D robotics, they're the kinds of minds that are investigators. They have you ever dreamt as a kid that maybe that you were, a detective, or trying to hunt down information, or were your favorite cartoons or shows growing up about detectives? It could mean that there is an interest in you, or a natural inclination to be an investigator. And there's different types of investigators. Some, are good at troubleshooting. Some are good at a solution. They're more solution-oriented. Some are ambassadors who know how to ask the right questions. So, there's room of scope for being an investigator, but how does that resonate for you? Another category is that of adventurers. Did you ever dream as growing up that you were an explorer, Dora the Explorer, or taking off for new planets or new universes and finding out what was out there? Adventurers actually are promoters of new ideas. They're willing to take risks, and they're good disruptors. Can identify golden opportunities and are able to put together a team to be able to see it come into being. Now, a couple of adventurers are people like Magic Johnson, who, after retiring from basketball, created a whole new career as a promoter. Or the founder of the Malala Fund, who's certainly a disruptor, promoting programs that help women to be educated in places where they're not allowed. So these are people who are willing to disrupt the status quo, but they keep their eyes fixed on the horizon. They stargaze. They are the adventurers. They're the ones that were willing to stick their necks out there and take a risk. Then you have people who are more the navigators, who are similar to adventurers in that they have a range of skills and talents to call upon as entrepreneurs. They're good at spotting opportunities as well and finding innovative ways of capitalizing on them, and actually good at bridge building to create links with stakeholders. So, have you ever dreamt as a kid, maybe, or growing up, that you were exploring uncharted territory or traveling to distant and exotic places? Being someone like that who is a navigator, you have to, quite often as a business person, chart unnavigated waters. You're willing to be a trailblazer, to take the risk and be in the forefront of things. I think of one of the first female and black millionaires was Madam C.J. Walker, who built an empire promoting beauty products. There are others. There's the Williams sisters, who, through collaboration and seeing opportunities, worked to create an empire for themselves, collaborating with people like the Miami Dolphins franchise. So it's about people who are willing to see opportunities where other people may not. And if you're the person who was always dreaming about going off into some distant place as a kid, perhaps you're being called to investigate being a navigator and doing something innovative and challenging that no one else has done. Then you have the category of the visionaries. They don't ask why, they ask why not. They're not bound by convention in any way, and they're willing to put their ideas to the test to ensure success. So have you ever dreamed about becoming a great leader, or to invent something that was like absolutely amazing? or coming up with some kind of an unusual approach to an issue. People who are visionaries, they're the ones who are the bridge builders. They're the ones who bring people along and encourage them, helping people to see that vision come to life. I mean, people who are visionaries are people like Oprah Winfrey, and Damon John of the Shark Tank group. So people who are willing who are able to see far, and not be daunted by the risks or obstacles that may occur. But there's all kinds of archetypes out there, and it behooves us to understand who are those archetypes that live within us. There are other categories. You guess that someone who's the innocent, who's kind of naive, that represents happiness or goodness and youthfulness. Brands that use this are some of the very well known, like Dove, Nintendo Wii, and Coca-Cola. The Rebel, it was all about breaking the rules and doing something different. Harley Davidson, Virgin, and Diesel jeans are examples of those kinds of archetypes. The magician, the person who can make something special happen. Think of Apple and Disney are good examples of that, that makes some kind of magic thing occur that everybody can enjoy. And then there's the lover. Love, commitment, compassion, romance. I mean, you think of brands that would use this kind of archetype would be like Victoria's Secret on the one hand and Chanel on the other. So, you got the passion and then you have the romantic love. So there's all kinds of archetypes, as many archetypes as there are people on the planet, but they all, the basis of all of those different archetypes, whatever form they take, is going to be similar, because psychologically we are all have the same basic structure. So we can dream about archetypes from cultures that we don't even know, because it's a specific energy, if you will. So there you have it. If you're wondering what archetypes have been appearing in your dreams and what they could mean for you on a personal or professional level, get in contact. You're welcome to book a free consultation, sleep and dream consultation, and find out what exactly your dreams are trying to tell you, and what new direction they could lead you in. Thanks for watching and listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.